Hello everybody, this is Nathan Grayson with Kotaku, and today I'm just going to give you a quick look at a game called OutDrive, which just came out on Steam and has been in the popular new releases section for about 24 hours. As you can tell, it's got the whole neon, simple polygon aesthetic going on, and it's got an 80s vibe to it. It's got this, pulsating kind of synth soundtrack combined with very over-the-top vocals, all of that, to draw a very kind of crude reference. It reminds people of like Far Cry Blood Dragon, which is the big sort of 80s inspired game that came out semi-recently and people like to call back to. But this game isn't really anything like that. It's not really tongue-in-cheek or anything of that nature. And in fact, I'm just going to go ahead and get this out of the way. It's not very good. It's not terrible. There's just not much to it. So I'm going to jump into it and show you what it's about. So the loading screen there is actually pretty much all the setup you need for the plot. You're a guy driving this car, and it's in some way connected to the well-being of this woman, the woman that he was holding. If you get outside of this meter that's at the bottom of my car in either direction, it harms the woman. If you hit the bottom, it kills her, and then you have to start over. So you keep the meter in check by boosting. If you boost too much, it causes her suffering, and I guess if you boost all the way, it probably kills her. But if you don't boost enough, that definitely kills her. So you've got to kind of find a sweet spot and stick to it, and also avoid hitting walls because that slows you down too. As you can see, it's fairly forgiving overall. Like, you can kind of fuck up pretty big like I just did and still get back on track as long as you boost for a little bit, which, that's nice enough. I'm not necessarily against games being forgiving, especially when you're just starting out. But the thing about this game is that what you're seeing right here is pretty much what you get. This is basically all of it. You drive, you listen to music, and you avoid hitting walls and trees and the sun. And that would be fine if it were particularly compelling, because it's cut from the mold of an infinite runner or an infinite driver, whatever you want to call it. And those usually have like a compelling core mechanic that keeps you wanting to play them over and over and over. This game doesn't really have that. The driving doesn't even feel that good, if I'm being honest. I mean, it feels okay, but it's not the sort of thing where I walk away from it and then 15 minutes later while I'm standing in the kitchen or something, I'm like craving to play more of it. I could put this down in 2 seconds and be perfectly satisfied with never playing it again. And, it's $2, so it's kind of a throwaway thing. I guess that's fine. But honestly, I would just say probably don't spend the $2 in the first place. That said, as you can see, there is a timer up top that both measures how long you manage to keep this girl alive, which, may I say, is really pretty grim. The suggestion being that pretty much no matter what, she's going to die. It's just a matter of how long you can, keep her from doing that. But, if you keep her alive for 8 minutes, a helicopter shows up and starts trying to shoot you. And that pretty much just adds more obstacles to your pathway. It doesn't really... The bullets don't harm you, which is kind of silly. And that's the one twist. Otherwise, here you go. This is the game. So it's not the best thing you could get on Steam. That said, in the spirit of trying to salvage things from wreckage, I like the idea of taking a not particularly amazing game and looking for the good in it, because I do think that this game has a few good ideas. I like that the core plot is so minimal, and that it's up to you to kind of extrapolate the rest. Some sort of sci-fi 80s setting, this girl's tied to the car, or not tied to the car, that would be either fucked up or some weird sex thing. But, you know, her survival is tied to this car, and some sort of nebulous evil body is chasing you down. Could be the government, could be some evil corporation, who knows. Point being, all of that can be extrapolated from like 2 screens and predominantly what you do in the game. That's pretty neat. The plot is immediately communicated. There's nothing standing between you and playing the game. So I do like that. And obviously the aesthetic and the music are pretty cool. I like that the game communicates to you that things are not going well by way of having the music slow down. There are some pretty solid little ideas in here. They just feel like they should be supporting something larger, instead of this being, you know, a larger idea precariously balanced on the back of these smart ideas, like, I don't know, worker ants carrying an elephant. They're just carrying twigs and leaves. The barest skeleton of a video game. Yes, apparently video games are made of twigs and leaves. I can mix metaphors. But yeah, so I guess that's pretty much it with this game. I'm gonna jump forward in a moment and show you some of the helicopter footage, just because, you know, why not? So that's what it looks like when she dies. How unfortunate. Now I'm going to show you the helicopter briefly, just so you can see what it looks like, and also so you don't ever have to actually spend money on this game. So there is the